What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush. Let's talk Jets. Hope everybody had a great weekend. A lot of football on. Not a lot of close games, but at least it's something to watch. This weekend should be much better. I think as of now, we'll probably stream the Bills-Chiefs game, but stay tuned. Free agency's coming around the corner. So for the Jets, obviously the big story is how are they going to build the offense around Zach Wilson. You look at the wide receiver position. You have Corey Davis. You have Elijah Moore. Can they get a deal done with Braxton Berrios? You got to think Jamison Crowder and Keelan Cole are going to be gone. Denzel Mims, do they trade him? Do they keep him? You need another playmaker or two. So as you approach free agency, there's a lot of big names that people keep bringing up to us. So I'll discuss a couple of them. And just like the video I did on tight ends, I'm not going to give you any hot takes. I'm not going to give you a lot of analysis. It's just kind of like offering options, and then you guys kind of interact with me in the comments. We go back and forth and just go from there. So the number one player that everybody keeps talking about is Devante Adams with the Packers. The question is, will the Packers get a deal done with him? Will they franchise him? Or will he actually become a free agent? If he becomes a free agent, would he want to come to the team like the Jets? Or would he want to go to a team that's a little more established, ready to win now, with a top-level quarterback, which is what I think he would do. But if not, he's 29 years old, and you're probably going to pay him around, $23, $24 million a year. Do you want to give that kind of contract to Devante Adams? I don't think the Jets are going to do that. They're not one player away. And they're not one marquee player away either. So I don't think that's going to happen. The next guy is Chris Godwin, who's coming off an injury, but he's young. I think he's, 25 years old. And again, another player that I think Tampa Bay is going to realize how good he is, especially after losing Antonio Brown. They may lose a couple other players, Brashard Perryman, guys like that. They may want to keep a young player like this in the mix, especially if Brady comes back next year. They want to keep, a lot of those parts together. So I'm not sure he hits free agency, to be completely honest with you. Another name that keeps coming up is Allen Robinson, a guy that I've always liked. I wanted him for the last couple of years. The Bears kept tagging him, so he couldn't get away from them. Allen Robinson's 28 years old. The thing about him is he's coming off a down year because the quarterback position was so bad in Chicago. So does he take a one-year deal somewhere, kind of like a prove-it deal, to kind of boost his value so he can get a much larger deal? Or does he want like a long-term deal, like 4 years, $64 million or something like that, to kind of secure him? That I'm not really sure how he approaches it. The Jets can, put an offer in, but I think he may also want to go to a win-now team with a decent quarterback. So after those top three, you start looking at different names, and it kind of like tiers. Those are probably your top three. You have a Juju SmithSchuster, but the thing about him is he's coming off an injury. Obviously, he played over the weekend in the playoffs. Kind of, maybe I'm not saying there's character concerns, but he's kind of like a and I'm not saying flamboyant, kind of like a very diva-like receiver, has an injury. Do you explore him, give him a 1-year deal, 2-year deal, see if you want to lure him in? Or does Pittsburgh want to keep him there to kind of build their offense with all these young guys and a new quarterback? I'm not sure about him either. Mike Williams, obviously big-time numbers, 27 years old. Will he even get away from the Chargers? I'm not sure. You're looking at probably 4 years. I wrote it down, like $16 million per year from Mike Williams. I'm not sure he hits the free agent market either. So if all these top-level guys don't hit the market or they're retained by their team or franchise or whatever else, I think a lot of these second-tier guys may get paid a lot more, and then it's up to Joe Douglas to see what their value is. And you don't want to overpay for an average player. Like right now, the jury's still kind of out on Corey Davis. So some guys I came up with we can discuss. First one is Michael Gallup. Got hurt late in the year, but he's 25 years old. So for me, it's like if you want to get building blocks for this offense, 25, 26 years old, you have them for the next 4 or 5 years. That's kind of, you want them at the peak or prime of their career. So Michael Gallup, fits that mold. The thing you wonder about him, also with Dalton Schultz, the tight end, is they have so many weapons in Dallas. Is he a product of the system and all the guys around him, or is he not? He could go for less. He can go for $11 million a year, $12 million a year, coming off an injury late in the season. How do you want to handle that? Do you want to take that risk? Another player that I actually like, that's kind of under the radar to me, is Christian Kirk with the Cardinals. He's 25 years old, and very, very productive, especially they had so many injuries in Arizona. And you may be able to get him at $11 million a year, $12 million a year. Solid receiver, hard work guy, productive. Maybe you consider him, versatile player. So, then you go down another level. And then there's guys that are you try to get on the rise. So you have Cedric Wilson with the Cowboys, Adam Humphries, Zay Jones. These are all different. DJ Chark with the Jaguars. Names like that you can consider too. So it's like, if after the high-level guys, you're the second tier, then you have guys that are like kind of low risk, high reward players, and you got to kind of figure out. Now, there's also options, maybe draft or trade for a receiver. And there's a litany of names out there everybody's talking about, and the one, obviously the most intriguing one is Calvin Ridley with the Falcons. Now, he is, making $11 million this year, all pro talent, young, he has it all, but he left the game this year to deal with mental health issues, which I completely respect. But you wonder, what's his state of mind? The Falcons, would he want to return to the Falcons? Does he want to change the scenery? Is he committed to football? One thing Joe Douglas kept talking about is he wants guys that love the game, are all about the game and not what the game could do for them. So, where does Ridley fall on that? There's obviously mentions of DK Metcalf and, all these different players, but, I'm fascinated to see what they do. One of all the trade options to me is Calvin Ridley. If you can get him for, like, say, a conditional second, and if he plays, 15 games, it gets 80 catches, it goes up to a first-round pick, or you want to do something like that. But I wouldn't give away a lot. There'd be a lot of conditions and a lot of incentives that had to be met to raise the value of that draft compensation. So let me know what you think, what receivers you want. Like I said, it's going to come down to, you want to come down to age, price tag, fit in the offense, fit in the Jets culture, and then obviously you have the draft too. But I'm kind of focusing on free agency now because that's what happens first. So hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you later.